Hello, today we're going to look at converting fractions to decimals. So we're going to convert a fraction to a decimal. So we're going to start out with a simple one so that I can show you how to do it. So let's look at one that we probably already know the answer to. 1/2. So if I have 1/2, that's 1 over 2. So that means if I had 2 slices of pizza, I've got 1. And to get this as a decimal, what we need to do is we need to set up a division problem. And the top is our numerator. The numerator always goes under the house. And then the denominator always goes on the outside and goes into the number. So it's, how many times can 2 go into 1? Well, 2 can't go into 1. So that needs to be a 0. And so I'm going to put in my decimal so that I can extend this out. Now for this one I just need one more place. So 2 wouldn't go into 1, so I had 0 here. But 2 will go into 10. So how many times will 2 go into 10? 5. 5 times 2 is 10. And so that leaves me with 0. Once you get 0 down here, you're done. So 0.5. Again, that's a fraction we probably already knew the answer to. But hopefully that'll help us see the process of how to do this. So we put the numerator under the house, denominator on the outside, and then we divide it just like a regular division problem like you learned how to do in 3rd and 4th grade. This was an easier one, so let's try a little bit harder one. Let's try 1 over 3, 1/3. Again, this is one you'll see a lot, and you'll probably memorize this eventually, if you haven't already. So we're going to put 1 in the house and a 3 on the outside. Can 3 go into 1? No. So we're going to have to extend this out. Now this one I'm going to have to go more than one place, so I'm going to put a few out here. Now, how many times can 3 go into 10? Yes, it can go in 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9, so that means I'm going to have 1. And then I'm going to have to bring down this 0, so I have 10. 3 goes into 10 3 times, because that was what we just said. And so 3 times 3 is 9, which leaves us with a remainder of 1, and we bring down another 0. And do you see what's happening here? We're getting a 3 every time. So that just means this is going to repeat. So we have a repeating 3, which means it goes on forever. So 0.333 forever. So the simplest way to write it would just be to do that. You could put a couple extra 3's. One thing to be careful of is look and make sure the question wants you to round, because if you have to round, it might say round to the 10th place. So then it would just be 0.3, because the 3 would round down, so it would just stay 3. It might want the 100th place, and so then your answer would be 0.33. Or it could say it wants the 1000th place, and in 7th grade that's as far as they will go. But they could ask for further than that later. So let's try another one. It's a little bit harder. Let's try 3/8. So if we have 3/8, I want to know how many times 8 can go into 3. So again, I took my numerator and put it under the house, denominator on the outside. 8 cannot go into 3, so it's 0. And I'm going to put a few of these out here, just a few zeros. The more that you do these, you'll start to see how far you should put your zeros. I just usually do 3. Will 8 go into 30? Yes. So 8 goes into 30. Well, 8 times 4 is 32, so that's a little too big, so let's do 3. So 0.3, 3 times 8 is 24. Okay, and if you need to, go back and review your multiplication tables a little bit. It'll make these a lot faster because you do have to do these by hand. So make sure that you have a good understanding of your multiplication tables. It'll make this easier. If you're struggling with those, there's a lot of online games we can do. But it'll really make these problems go by faster if you have, if you have those multiplication tables memorized. So 30 minus 24 is 6, and then I need to bring down the 0. So how many times can 8 go into 60? Let's see. So I know 8 times 3 was 24. So 8 times 6 would be 48. And then another 8 would be 56. And then another would be 64. So 8 times 8 would be 64. That's too big. So 8 times 7 was 56. And then that will leave me with a 4. And then I'm going to bring down this 0. 8 times 5 is going to give me 40, and I'm going to be done. So I'll have 40, which leaves me with a 0. And so my answer would be 0.375. Okay. Again, be careful and make sure they don't want you to round it, because if I say I want this to the hundredths place, so if I want it to the hundredths place, then I would have to round, because it's a 5, it would go up. So 0.38. Okay, so you just got to make sure you look at the directions. That's really important that you pay attention. It might want you to just give the whole answer, and 0.0 or 0.375 would be the answer. But they might want you to round it to the hundredths. So you've got to make sure you read the directions. It's really important when you're taking the SOL test, because this is the kind of question that they might make where you have to type in the answer. And so you really need to make sure that you pay attention to the place value. And then you need to be careful with the rounding. Okay, so hopefully this will help with these kind of problems. You divide them all the same way. It's just, different numbers. There are some of the numbers you'll start to see patterns. And so that'll help.